From the news desk of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, this is news around the world.
In the headlines, federal government issues clarifications on President Tinubu's official designation. Court adjourns indefinitely to challenge ADC leadership. Police arrest 13 suspected cultist drugs peddlers in Kwara. Moving on to the foreign scene, Iran accuses United States of a reckless military adventure. Moving on to the world of business, oil prices rise after US and Iran exchange fire in Hormuz Straits. In the world of entertainment, Davido to be abducted into Black Music Walk of Fame. And lastly, from the world of sports, Super Falcons suffer blow as Esther Okonkwo faces 6 weeks layoff. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news across the world on Diamond 887 FM, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. I am Precious Afolabi D. You can join us on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. You can also download the app on Google Play Store at Diamond 887 FM. We'll bring you details of the news after this short break. Please, we'll be right back.
We often think that mental health breakdowns sound like this.
I'm emotionally stressed. I'm emotionally downcast. I am so confused of all about life.
But in reality, they can sound like this. Don't make assumptions that people are okay just because they laugh and they smile. Everyone is going through something. Check on your friends and be kind to everyone else.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
Glad to know you're there and you're welcome back. Now the news in detail. The federal government has called on media organizations and public institutions to ensure accurate in the official appellations of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all publications and communication. In a press statement signed today by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the office expressed concern over what is described as a frequent error in the way the president's title is presented by some organizations and media outlets. Akume stressed that the correct and the official appellations of president should always read His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The clarifications according to the statement became necessary following an error observed in the naming and appellation of the president in a publication by the National Dailies on Wednesday, May 7, 2026. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned indefinitely a suit challenging the leadership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, under the former Senate President David Mack. Justice Emeka Nwite ordered an indefinite adjournment today after the plaintiff informs the court that he had written to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court seeking the transfer of a case to another judge. At the resumed hearing, counsel for the plaintiff, Luka Musa Aruna, told the court that the Supreme Court had on 30th April 2026 dismissed an interlocutory appeal filed by Mack and set aside the Court of Appeals order staying proceeding in the matter. The judge therefore adjourns the matter indefinitely, stating that further proceeding would await the Supreme Court judgment record and any directive from the Chief Judge. The governor of Delta State, Sheriff Obievore, has approved a minor cabinet reshuffle following the resignation and 2 commissioners seeking elective positions ahead of the 2027 general election. The development was disclosed in a statement issued today in Asaba by the Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Charles Niago. And according to the statements, the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Community and Social Development, Pat Etudua, has been directed to oversee the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Community Support Services and Girl-Child Development. Moving on, the Commissioner for House, Godkos No Ngele, will supervise the Ministry of Youth Development with immediate effect. Aniego said that the reshuffle follows the resignations of the Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs, Community Support Services and Girl-Child Development, Orode Oduaga, and the Commissioner for Youth Development, Thank God Trafeweri. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, Kwara State Branch, has called for the financial autonomy for the judiciary arm of government. JUSUN made the call in a communique which was signed by the state chairman, Comrade Habib Agbola Yusuf, and Public Relations Officer Aliu Ahmed Gold at the end of the Union Congress held in Ilorin. The union also demanded the urgent swearing-in of the Judicial Service Commission JSC to facilitate the long overdue promotion exercises and the full implementations of financial autonomy for the judiciary. The JUSUN Congress wants that should the Senate government fail to address their demands by Friday 29th May 2026, the union shall reconvene on Monday the 1st June 2026 to consider activate all legitimate options at their disposal, which may include the declaration of an industrial action. Operatives of Kwara State Police Command, in collaborations with members of the National Forest Guard, have arrested 13 suspected cultists, thugs, and drug peddlers during a coordinated raid at Tanke Junction in Ilorin. Following intelligence reports on the activities of hoodlums operating under the guise of commercial motorcyclists in the area, the police public relations officer, PPRO, Tong Hejiria DME, disclosed this in a statement today, noting that the suspect were allegedly involved in occult-related activities, street violence, illicit drug trafficking, and other criminal acts capable of threatening public peace and safety within the Metro Police. According to her, the activities of the hoodlums had over time turned the area into a non-criminal flashpoint in Ilorin. She disclosed that during the operations, 24 motorcycles were recovered, out of which 5 were unregistered. Some of the illicit substances recovered include cannabis sativa, Colorado, tramadol, and other hard drugs. The news across the world is reaching you from Diamond 887 FM, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. We're going to break now. When we come back, we bring you foreign, business, entertainment, and sport news. Please stay with us.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
let you know you're still listening to the news across the world, reaching you from Diamond 887 FM, Ilori, Kwara State, Nigeria. Now we move to the foreign stories. And the foreign stories today, Iran Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has accused the United States of opting for a reckless military adventure every time a diplomatic solution is on the table. Araghchi stated in a post on X handles today after both sides accused each other launching attack in Strait of Hormuz. Despite the clashes, Trump said that the ceasefire was intact. It is meant to enable talks to end the war that the U.S. and Israel launched in February. Iran is expected to respond to U.S. proposal today. And according to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Iran has been controlling the strait as well as attacking U.S. allies in the Gulf in retaliations for the U.S. and Israel attacks. Moving on from the foreigners in South Africa, opposition leader Julius Malema has called on President Cyril Ramaphosa to resign after the Constitutional Court ruled that Parliament had violated the constitutions by blocking moves to impeach him in 2022. The judgment followed a legal challenge by Malema's Economy Freedom Fighters, EFF, and others. It could result in the fresh impeachment proceedings. In 2022, an independent panel said Ramaphosa may have a case to answer after burglars stole $580,000 in cash hidden in the sofa from his rural homes. Following the judgment, Ramaphosa's office said he has reaffirmed his commitment to the Constitution, the independence of the judiciary, and the rule of law. And now moving on to the business news.
Diamond FM Business News.
Business news today, oil prices rose today after the United States and Iran exchanged fire in the key Strait of Hormuz waterway. The U.S. said it made self-defense strikes in response to unprovoked Iranian attack as U.S. ships were heading out of the Gulf through the strait, which is south of Iran. The global Brent oil benchmark price rose almost 3% to nearly $103 per barrel at one point before falling back to around $100. Despite the attack, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday the U.S.-Iran ceasefire is still in place. Iran state media has reported that the situation is back to normal now. And now we'll move to the entertainment news.
Diamond FM Entertainment News.
On entertaining news today, Afrobeat superstar David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has been named an inductee for the 2026 Black Music and Entertainment Walk and Fame at the Atlanta, Georgia, United States. The organizers announced Davido as part of this year's class ahead of the induction ceremony scheduled for June 1. The recognitions placed him alongside entertainment figures honored for their influence on black and culture and the global music. A feat has added a timeless crooner to the list of African artists previously recognized by the organization, including the late Afrobeat pioneer Fela Kuti. As the Black Music and the Entertainment Walk of Fame was created by the Black American Music Associations and the Georgia Entertainment Caucus to honor people who have shaped black entertainment and music. We now move on to the world of sports.
Diamond FM Sports News.
And sport news today, Super Falcons forward Esther Okoronkwo has been sidelined for around 6 weeks due to the knee injury. Okoronkwo suffered the meniscus damage on her knees in AFC Toronto League games against the Halifax This week, the 29-year-old is expected to recover in time for the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations. The tournament was started in Morocco in July 2026 on the 25th, and Okokoroko played a crucial role in the Super Falcons' triumph at the last edition of the tournament. She scored 2 goals and registered 6 assists. Still on the sport news, the Nigerian Football Federation has appointed Abu Maikaba and the Eboborese as the head coaches of the country's under 20 and under 17 boys national team, respectively. The appointment follows recommendations by the NFF Technical and Development Committee, which were approved by the Federation Executive Committee. Maikaba, who takes charge of the Flying Eagles, has previously handled the Golden Eaglet and also served as assistant coach of the under-20 teams during the Paul Ayegbogun tenure. Moving on to the Owojugumere becomes the head coach of the Golden Eaglet after years of experience as a coach analyst with the Super Eagles, and he is currently head of the academy and the Sporting Lagos, and has also worked with the Super Falcons as well as youth setup at the Millward, Cheltenham and the Nottingham Forest in England. And with that, we have come to the end of the news across the world. But before we go, here is the recap of the major highlights. Federal government issues clarifications on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu official designation. Court adjourn indefinitely suit challenging ADC leadership. Police arrest 13 suspected cultist drugs peddlers in Kwara. Moving on to the foreign scene, Iran accuses United States of a reckless military adventure. Moving on to the world of business, oil prices rise after the US and Iran exchange fire in Hormuz Strait. In the world of entertainment today, Davido to become inducted into Black Music Wall of Fame. And lastly, from the world of sports, Super Falcons suffers blow as Esther Okoronkwo faces 6 weeks layout. Do you know segment? Do you know on this day 2011, General Muhammadu Buhari filed a lawsuit challenging the outcomes of the 2011 presidential election, which produced Goodluck Jonathan as the president of Nigeria? If you don't know, now you know. For information or happenings around you, you can contact Diamond FM Newsroom on this number 0916 062 7526. The news across the world was edited by Abiodun Akiwumi and read to you by Precious Afolabi D. Many thanks for listening to your Shining Supreme stations. Please do note that by 5:30, the Yoruba version of the news will be coming on board.
Listening to the music, to the sound.
Diamond FM
88.7 FM.
Across the airwaves right now. In the mix.